Hello and welcome to the Chelsea Fans channel. This is a new show we're doing and it's 5 points we learnt from the weekend. Now I hope you're all feeling a little bit, let's just say, I don't say positive, but just feeling a bit better in general. It's not often Chelsea fans feel great after a weekend's game. So the 5 points we are going to discuss today are fan and player hatred of Tottenham. Very, very evident from this weekend. Our second point is all about Fabregas, who wore his magic hat this weekend. Our third point is going to be about Hazard. Our fourth point is going to be all about the defence. And our fifth and final point is going to be all about the youth. Right, our first point is fans and player hatred of Tottenham Hotspurs. We obviously know as fans we all despise Spurs, but it's always nice to see as fans that we have the same feeling as our players do. And I think after the Bournemouth game, it was very evident that players equally have the same rivalry and same dislike as we have against Spurs. We had Fabregas on Monday Night Football, who I thought came across really well, was really articulate, and I think personally we saw a bit of a different light to him. He clearly said how much the rivalry is strong with him and the rest of the players, and how much we need to win our next game against Spurs. Hazard came out and said after the Bournemouth game, and was actually criticised on Match of the Day, saying that we're going to win, how important it is, how much he wants Leicester to win the league, which I think was fantastic that Hazard came out and said that. And quite frankly, everyone who's criticised him and said it was unprofessional, we don't care. We love the fact he came out and said that. And then Hidick came out and said, well, we hope the fans will forgive us when we beat Spurs. We will be delighted with you if you beat Spurs and put a dent in this title party. Come on, Leicester. Point 2 is Fabregas, and it's safe to say he certainly wore his magic hat against Bournemouth on the weekend. He was world class. He obviously 3 assists, which now makes him third highest all-time assister in the Premier League history, and that's just behind Ryan Giggs and our super Frankie Lampard. So he's now on 95. He was phenomenal. I think his range of passing was incredible. His vision, picking out passes for Hazard and Pedro and Costa. He was fantastic. And I think, as I said earlier, it was really nice to see him. It's the first time anyone's actually seen him do a proper long interview on Monday Night Football. I thought he came across really, really well. He was articulate. Again, he highlighted the rivalry we have with Spurs. It was nice to see him talk about Jose Mourinho in such a nice light and took responsibility of the poor season we've had. So a big shout out to Fabregas, and let's hope he carries that on throughout, obviously, the remainder of the season, especially against Spurs. And in our last preview video, we talked about whether he would have a big call out for captain next season. I personally think out of the bunch of players we currently have, for me, he's our #1 choice. But comment below and let us know if you agree with that. Our third point is Hazard. I think it's safe to say he actually looked like a new signing against Bournemouth on the weekend. He was fitter, he was faster, he looked like he lost a bit of weight. Importantly, he got his 2 goals, which is the first time he's scored in the Premier League this entire season. He looked happy to be playing. I think it was exciting to see Hazard of old back. And I know a lot of you guys are very divided on your decisions on whether you want Hazard to stay. He's come out and said some comments that have gone down very badly, and understandably you guys are very upset with that. But for me personally, and football's all about opinions, I think it is so key that Hazard stays for us next season. I think if we had a fit Hazard this season and we had the same Hazard we did last season, this season would be very, very different for us. I think he needs to stay. I think Conte needs to potentially build the team around Hazard, because when Hazard plays well and he's on form, all the other attacking players look so different. Costa, Pedro, Fabregas, it just highlights how good Fabregas is in terms of his ranging of passes. He has players to pass to. massive point for me. I think Hazard should stay. Again, let us know your thoughts on that, especially after the Bournemouth game. When you see a little glimpse of how good Hazard could be, surely you realise the importance of us keeping players like him. Now, talking of new signings, where we really do need to strengthen and make new signings is clearly the defence. Now, this is our fourth point because I think this is so important that we need to strengthen in this position. It was kind of embarrassing that we had Mikel at centre-back. He came in for a lot of criticism, understandably, because he was poor, but then he was playing out of position. Obviously, Gary Cahill came down with an illness just beforehand. Miazga, I'm sure as Miazga, you're going to be a little bit disappointed that you're sat on the bench and you are an outright centre-back and you've got a holding midfield going in front of you as centre-back. I don't really get that choice. Obviously, again, Bournemouth didn't take their chances very well. It could have been a lot more. They could have scored a lot more against us. So I think in certain points we were lucky. It was only 4-1. We need to strengthen the defence. It's key. It's important. That will change our whole season next season. Obviously, John Terry, we believe, is not staying and is moving, or we are not extending his contract, which I think is a huge mistake. But we need to now move on from that and realise that that is the key area we need to strengthen for next season. And our fifth and final point is all about youth. So it wasn't only the first team that did well this weekend. Obviously, the youth team, they went up to Manchester and played Man City in the FA Cup youth game. It was the first leg. 1-1, good performance. The second leg's obviously this Wednesday back at the Bridge. Youth is key for us at the moment. I think it's, what's beginning to be worrying is that Chelsea and especially Emanalo have come in for a lot of criticism in the fact of our youth system and how it's structured. We send out a lot of youth on loan. We don't bring youth necessarily up to the first team. Loftus-Cheek is probably, the one player that's, come up through the ranks, and we've seen him play a bit this season. Hopefully we start to play him more because I think youth is where we really need to concentrate. And where the worry is a lot of our promising youth stars are not wanting to stay at Chelsea and extend their contracts. Dom Solanke has come out and said that he doesn't want to renew his contract, which I think is a big worry. His parents have said that they don't believe he's going to get game time. Another player, Quinoa, he's signed at West Ham, again through fear of not playing enough. And I think, Ola Aina, he's out of contract at the end of the season. Hopefully, I think he's been a brilliant player for the youth. I hope we really do extend his contract. So yeah, youth is key. We need to be playing these guys. We need to be seeing the youth come up through the ranks. I don't like to compare to other teams, especially not a team like Spurs, but you have to give credit where it's due and realise that Spurs are the most promising youth team out there with a good manager, but their youth there's been brilliant for them all season, and I think this is where it's going to take them, and they're going to build on this. If they don't win the league this season, I think we're really going to constantly see them up at the top now with how well their youth is playing. This is what we need to follow. We need to accentuate that and play these guys more because we've got some very, very talented youngsters. So let's see them play. That's the end of our 5 points we learnt from this weekend. Please comment below. Let us know, obviously, what you thought of the points we've made. And if you want to make any more, let us know. And also comment below on what you think of this new format and this new show. And if you do like it, we'll obviously continue to do so. Thanks for watching. Come on the Chelsea.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Chelsea Fans Channel. Now I'm sure you're all feeling a little bit down at the moment, however I've had a really uplifting day and I've come up with 10 reasons as to why Chelsea fans should be cheerful. So here they are.